Hello, good people, and welcome back to Unit 5 on Banking and Investments. Today we're talking about investments and risk. So yesterday we chatted a little more about types of accounts, and now we're going to talk about investments and risk. So what actually goes in some of these accounts? So first of all, what is an investment? This is when a consumer or just a general person decides to take some of the money that they may have saved or earned through wages and put it into an account in order to grow. They put it into a business or a firm in order to grow, or they put it into the hands of a government to grow over time. Now, here's the thing about investments. You're not only trying to get your money to grow, you're trying to get other people to pay you to let it grow. All right. So let's say you got $5,000 that you want to invest. You want to make sure that $5,000 does not stay the same amount, that it increases in amount over time. So how can you do that? All right. And how can you earn interest off of that as well? So how do investments actually work? Well, the investor, who is also the consumer, just a person who's got some extra cash laying around, puts money into the business or the government or an account through the bank, and then that firm or that government that they handed that money to starts making profits, and eventually once that profit starts flowing in, the business, in order to say thank you or like we appreciate you investing in our business, you giving us money to grow our business, we're going to give you some of this profit back, okay? An investor puts money into a business or a government knowing good and well they are getting every single piece of that money back plus interest. You are essentially loaning them money in order to get that back plus interest plus profit, okay? You want in of their profit, all right? You help them make the pie so that you can have a slice of the pie, all right? Except the pie keeps getting bigger, all right? So the cycle repeats again. So here's kind of how it looks. If you want to go ahead and draw this over on the side of your note sheet in the margin, that's totally fine. All right. So investors buy what are called shares of a company, and they give money. All right. And then companies pay back dividends. So dividends are the same thing as profit. Okay. So part of their profit, bloop, goes right back to you. Okay. So money's flowing in and money's flowing back. All right, here's the thing though. If you put money into a company, you need to be able to not guarantee, but be pretty sure that they're going to make profit. Because if they make profit, you make profit. But if they lose profit, you do too. Okay, so your money is now attached to them for better or for worse. Okay. All right, so what types are there? There are three major buckets that we can put a whole bunch of different investments in. So we have stocks, which is you buying pieces of companies. We've got bonds, which is typically you buying pieces of a government, all right? And then we have cash equivalents. So it's not an actual stock that you're trading, but you're trading like alongside the stock. It's kind of complicated. And we'll dig into the stock market in great detail in our next unit, which is actually just about the stock market. But we'll just kind of do like a little brief overview today. So let's get into it, all right? So stocks are companies. It's when companies allow parts of their business to be bought and sold by the public in their own market, okay? You cannot go on Amazon and be like, you know what? I think I'm going to buy a little bit of Walmart. You can't do that. That's not how that works. You have to enter the stock market, which typically, like if you have an app for it, it'll take you to the online version of the stock market. You can buy and sell pieces of businesses today if you want. You can buy and sell stocks for $1 right now. If you go on Robinhood, on that little Robinhood app, you can do that if you want to. Here's the thing. There are two parts to the stock market. Okay, there are two parts to stocks in general. There are the parts of the companies that you're buying, okay, and there are owners. All right, so here's the thing. How do you pick stocks? First of all, you pick an online broker. You're going to need an online company to go physically, like to have someone sit behind a computer and physically buy your stocks for you. You can't just go pick them out yourself, okay? You're going to have like a third party do that for you. You need to research the stocks you want to buy. So first of all, pick your person who's going to buy them. Pick what you're going to buy. Decide how many pieces you want to buy or how many shares you'd like to buy, all right? Because essentially what a share is a business decides to sell part of their business to the public, okay? They can charge you like a high price. They can charge you a low price. It depends on how their business is doing. So right now, for example, I know I like to pick on Amazon a lot because they're a good example of this. In January of 2020, or no, I think maybe February of 2020, one piece or one share of Amazon, one part of their company, was worth $1,800 a piece. Now, flash forward to August and September of 2020, Amazon is worth $3,500 a piece. So you have gone from that one little part of Amazon being worth $1,800 to now almost doubling its worth to $3,500. Why is that? Well, everybody and their mom is at home buying stuff on the couch, adding it to the cart, and buying it from Amazon. And so if Amazon keeps making money, you keep making money if you have a part of them. Okay, so you have to decide how many shares you want to buy. You have to choose your stock order type. We'll get into this later. There's a whole bunch of random words that you have to know. All right. And then you optimize your stock portfolio. You do not need to put all your eggs in one basket. Do not be like, I'm going to buy 1,000 shares of Amazon and that's what I'm going to retire on. No, you're not. What happens if Amazon closes its doors tomorrow? You are 100% out of luck. Okay. So don't do that. In order to protect yourself from risk, go ahead and buy some super risky stocks, buy some not risky stocks, buy some middle of the road stocks, all right? Spread the wealth around, all right? Don't be afraid to buy different little things. I'll put that in a little call-out box so you can see it. But how do you actually do it, though? When you're choosing a company that you want to buy into, all right, you need to do it because you want to own it, because you believe in that business, you know what they're about, you know what they're selling, and you like whatever it is, okay? Not because you want the stock to go up. Do not buy shares in Amazon because you know that it's worth a lot of money. You're going to be paying a lot of money up front right now if you're buying some stocks at Amazon. What happens if the stock goes down? What happens if Amazon stops making a lot of money? What happens if, I don't know, Jeff Bezos gets sued or something and has to pay a whole bunch of money out? Amazon's not going to be trusted very much, okay? All right, don't buy stock because you want to increase your profit. Buy stock because you believe in that company and know what they're selling, okay? All right, let's get into bonds. All right, we're not going to worry about stocks so much. We're going to worry about some bonds. So you are investing in a government, and you're giving them essentially a loan over time, and you're collecting interest. So typically speaking, a bond will double over its lifetime. I would make sure that the percentage that you're earning in interest is above 5%. Otherwise, it's really not worth your time. Okay. There are two types of bonds, both secured and unsecured. All right. So here's the deal. We can look at this as if we are talking about like bail bonds for jail. Okay. So a secured bond is backed up with collateral, and an unsecured bond has no guaranteed value backup. It's just like, they just take your word for it that you have this money. All right. So, secured versus unsecured, Lord help, United States Treasury bonds, or the ones that you buy from the government, are not secured. If the government does not pay you, you have lost your money, period. You don't get to go take something from the government that is of equal value. But if it's a secured bond...
Please do not wander in the hallway. We need you to go straight to your classroom when you enter the building. Thank you.
I'll go taco. So for a secured bond, if the government does not pay you back, let's say you give the government 10 grand, right? And the government does not pay you back, you can't take something from them that is worth 10 grand, so you at least get the value of your money back. That's not how that works, okay? So a secured bond is backed up with collateral, and then an unsecured bond is not backed up with collateral. So let's review what collateral is if you're not sure. All right, so it's something of equal value to money that is either owed or has been borrowed, and it can be seized or taken by the lender if you default or don't pay your loan back. Okay, so to default on something means to not pay the loan back. So here's the deal. Let's say, for example, that we have a criminal, okay? Let's pick on somebody. Let's pick on Young Boy, okay? So we got NBA Young Boy out here. Let's say that he has been arrested, because he just got arrested the other day, I think, on some federal gun charges. Let's say, for example, that his bail has been set at, $2 million. But he doesn't have $2 million in cash. He can use collateral. Let's say he has a house that's worth $2 million. He puts the house up as collateral. He goes to the bail bondsman and says, hey, you can put my house down. Here's the address. Here's the value. You can put that down, and if I don't come back to court, you can have the house. Because essentially what bail is money to ensure you come back to court, right? So you put up your $2 million bail, all right, either in cash or in a check or in the value of that money. So if he has a house that's worth $2 million or a car that's worth $2 million, he's going to put that up and then he can go away. And that's a secured bond, okay? Because if he doesn't come back to court and he doesn't pay that money, the judicial system can take the house or the car that's worth $2 million, and they're going to get their money guaranteed. An unsecured bond, or if he has like jewelry or like a watch, or he has a ring or something that's worth that much money, all right? So that can be collateral. All right, so the United States government does not deal in secured bonds. You're just going to have to trust that the United States government will pay you back over the course of 20 years, okay? They're unsecured, but here's the thing. They are a pretty sure bet because we have never, y'all, we have been in debt since July the 4th of 1776, but we have never defaulted on any bond to any person. All right, so that's that. They typically double over time. So if you get a bond, let's say that you have $1,000. You take your $1,000, you give it to the United States Department of the Treasury, and they give you a little like red and green looking paper that has, I think, Thomas Jefferson's face on it. And it has like a little picture of the Department of the Treasury and says like, let me pull one up for you. U.S. Treasury bonds, Google search, images. Beep, boop, bop. Oh, is that Benjamin Franklin? That is not a good side profile. It is Thomas Jefferson. Oh, dang, that's a $100 bill. Let's go to the $1,000 bill. All right. Look at all Ben Frank. Look how wrinkly he is. Okay, so this is called a double E bond. Okay, this is interest ceases 30 years from issue date. Okay, so you can grow interest for 30 years. This is the Independence Hall. All right, so you gave $1,000 to the United States of America. You can come back in 30 years and you can get $2,000 plus interest. Okay, so that's how a treasury bond looks. Let me scoot back over here real quick. Okay, they typically double over time. You need a lot of money up front, and there's a fixed interest rate. Okay, so a lot of times the United States government will go ahead and ask you to invest in bonds like while we are in or like right after we get out of a war. So notice how this is, they've made Adolf Hitler out to be the devil. Save to be the devil and buy some victory bonds because the United States government during World War II was broke as a joke, y'all. Okay, we were at like 1% unemployment. Everybody is working to try and beat the Nazis and the Japanese Imperial Army. And in order to continue to like spend money and produce parachutes and guns and uniforms and whatever else we would need, the United States government was asking the people for victory bonds. Notice how it's called a victory bond. We're going to win. Beat this man. All right. So please give us some money because we broke as a joke. All right. It's kind of how that works.